All ready to roll?
Yes.
All right, we will call this meeting to order. You do have an agenda before you, and I need an approval. Any changes to this?
Can you do that?
Dale?
Motion.
Rose? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Anyone have a declaration of pecuniary interest for what we have here tonight? Seeing none. We have two former minutes to approve. One is from April the 23rd. Just brief me again, Denise, why did we carry that one over?
Because it was accidentally just dumped over. We didn't actually get a motion to accept
We
it.
just missed.
Yeah, it was just missed.
All right, I need an approval then for the April 23rd minutes. Derek and Rose. Anyone opposed? It is carried. And I need an approval for our last meeting of May the 14th.
I'll give you that one.
Thanks, Brian
Second.
and Linda. Any comments or questions on those minutes? Anyone opposed? They are carried now. No delegations and no petitions. Our committee meetings, our first out the gate was the Safety, Security and Health on May the 19th. And we need a motion to accept the year-to-date revenue and expense report ending April the 30th, 2026.
Make that motion.
Rose and Brian. Comments, questions on those expenses? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Then Office and Administration came in on May the 19th. Oh, that's the same day, that's right. Okay, we need the motions for these recommendations. One, that bylaw 2026-20 being a bylaw to outline the restricted acts, lame duck, period for council for the 2026 election, and to be given its 3 readings and duly passed.
So move, Councillor Steele.
Take a second for you, Richard. Dale.
Thank you. Comments or questions on that bylaw?
When does that lame duck period come into effect?
There's actually 2 lame duck periods. One is after the close of nomination on August 21st. It'll start and then it'll end. That one ends at election day. And the other one is from election day to the swearing in of the new council.
Anything else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we have a recommendation that the project for the purchase of a computer server and backup system for the municipality be increased from the original budgeted amount of 10,000 to a total of 25,000.
I'll make that motion.
Brian
Second it.
and Linda. Comments, questions on that motion? Go ahead. Huh?
Where's the extra 15,000 coming from?
It's gonna come from the bank.
And is that reserve funds that we're using?
Yes. Whenever we don't have budget, it comes from reserves. As long as we've got reserves and we're usually fairly healthy there.
We're okay. Rose has a question.
So are the reserves healthy?
Pardon?
Are the reserves healthy?
Yes.
Good, that means we can spend more money on other things that I budgeted for, right?
No, I just got a little note from Denise yesterday that indicated we've got, what is it, 1.7 million that is still being held from our friends at the dump system. So that's in reserve.
But this was a budgeted amount, we just need more.
Yes.
But
10,000 was originally
Yeah,
budgeted.
Yeah.
Yes.
it was a budgeted amount, so.
So it's the 15,000 that we're having to dip into reserves for.
And you mentioned 1.7, that's all related to the financials that have to be submitted.
We just got the, Denise was telling me that we did get the fur, information from 23 into, government, so we will be getting some of that money shortly, I expect.
Nice try.
You think we're gonna keep it honest there, right?
Brian?
You know something we don't know?
Man,
You know something we don't know?
nope.
Anyways, any other comments or questions on that motion? It is carried. Now, I'll take a deep breath, and we have a motion here put forward by Stevens and Farquhar. And it's that the Office and Administration Committee recommend that council support the following motion from the town of Bruce Mines. Whereas the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act received royal assent in 1987, coming into force in January the 1st, 1988. And whereas the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of the Private Act received royal assent in 1990, coming into force on January the 1st, 1991. And whereas both acts provide the public with a legal right to access to government-held information, reflecting the principle that such information belongs to the public unless there is a valid reason to withhold it. And whereas the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario has reinforced that access to information as being essential to the health function of a democratic society and to transparent governments. And whereas Bill 97 plan to protect Ontario and budget measures received royal assent on April the 24th, 26, introducing significant change, freedom of information rules, including new exemption for ministers' offices. And whereas records held by the Premier, cabinet ministers, parliamentary assistants, and their offices are no longer subject to freedom of information requests and are no longer considered freedom of information eligible records. Whereas council is of the opinion that the passage of Bill 97 represents a step backward from long-standing provincial commitments to openness, transparency, and accountability. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Bruce Mines and Manitoulin, Central Manitoulin, formally express its concern with the passage of Bill 97 and finds that it constitutes a regression from the established principle of transparent governance. And be it resolved that council urges the government of Ontario to repeal this provision of the legislation. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, the Attorney General of Ontario, Doug Downey, the member, that should be changed from he member to the member of the Provincial Parliament, Bill Rosenberg, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities, and the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario. And that it be circulated to all municipalities in the province of Ontario.
Councillor Stevens will give you that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Derek.
I'll second the floor.
Comments, questions on this motion?
Starting off, I've always been very open in this council that freedom of information needs to flow to the public, and they have a right to the information and the motions and work that council is doing. And I really can't understand why the Ontario government would want to access that or deny that to the public. I know the federal government's been doing it in all sorts of motions, and then they expect us to be open and transparent. I think that this is very important for the people, and we need to be supporting. We're elected by the people, and we should represent the people, and they should know what we're doing.
Well, I think you're correct there, Councillor Stevens, because it did indicate in the motion itself that it's a step backward, so it isn't what we would have expected. Any other comments? Yeah.
Yeah, this Bill 97 has been passed, but it's still in the process, is it not? Like, does it need the royal assent? Like, I'm asking what,
Yeah, I'm not sure if it has royal assent yet, but it has. Yeah,
Received royal assent on April 24th.
yeah.
so,
They've jammed it through in Ontario.
yeah, so. Like. What are we trying to do?
Make a stand and.
Make a stand and say they need to be open to the public the way we are.
That they've already run it through.
Yeah.
It can be
Well,
a matter.
I'm great deal. He's probably not gonna do us any good, but at least.
We feel good.
We feel good about it, so.
Well, there's a few other countries right in between Canada, and you look at them and their politics and how they keep information hidden. And, yeah, it's right, I agree, but unfortunately, it's already gone through.
Any other comments? Anyone opposed? Yeah, it is carried. And we need a motion that the $900 cost for the rental of the Mendemoya Arena by the OPP Tour de Force on September 5th and 6th this year, 26, be given as a in-kind donation.
Well, I think that will shoot, Mr. Mayor.
Eric? Seconder?
John, second for you.
So in order to keep our books, Denise, then there will be a credit for the rental and a debit to the donation.
Yes.
Any other comment?
Just, you know, I have a hard time with this one because, we're always telling our volunteers and everything out there that, oh, well, we can only donate this much, or we can only donate this much, and you have to come to us and everything else. Then you get the police organization, which God knows it costs us enough money for policing gear in the island. And I'm not saying this isn't a good event. I think this is a great event that they put on for the kids and everything else. But I do know that, even if we charge them the $900, we're gonna get billed for it anyway. So I, I just have a hard time with this one, being that it's a provincial thing. They should be able to pay the rent, but on the same token. Pay for it.
Where does their money come from?
So that's the unfortunate part.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, go ahead.
at your next meeting, ask them. Why they can't put a donation, why they're not donating to that.
We tell our Lions
Did you
clubs
see
and that,
Did you see the answers that we got for the, where the money comes from and goes? That, well, you weren't at MMA, no. Few other people were. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It
Yeah.
recognizes officers that have died in action, but that's not the weekend ride. I think it's a 2-day ride, so they only use the arena if it's raining, I believe. Is that not right, Denise? I think so. Normally it's held outside in the parking lot. So, and it's for youth. It's for youth, bicycles to youth, training, safety for youth. So it's a little different than just our payment from the municipality. So I tend to agree. I think when we come up with the women's hospital auxiliary and we give a total benefit in kind back to them for rental, I think it was $500. I'm totally in agree because they give back every penny to the hospital. We don't know, they might not use the arena at all if it's good weather, so it might be a mute thing. Yeah, if they don't use the arena, don't think we would credit them the 900, but we wouldn't be writing a check to them.
Wouldn't be owed anything.
No, we wouldn't be.
the problem that I have with it is they're a government organization with big pockets and a whole bit compared to our volunteers that are trying to raise money for whatever community projects, and that money comes out of their profit margin. So yeah, we donated to them to help them out. Whereas this is a government corporation that, yeah, costs us what, 600 and some thousand a year, asking for a donation of $900. Hey, I digress.
Yeah.
I think in another year, we could reasonably ask for 50% in kind, 50%. If the weather is good, they're not going to use it. So, and I don't think there'll be a pushback at all. I know a number of those that are leading this for the Mindmoya section. I don't think there'd be a pushback on that at all.
Something to look into, man.
Well, I think the other thing is that it is a benefit to the community if we're teaching the kids how to ride bikes and the safety features involved. So I think it's a very good community project, and we can support it this way.
And then I agree with you, Mr. Mayor. It's just the sort of the principle behind it.
Anything further? It is carried. And we need to accept the donation report to May the 18th, 26 as presented.
So moved, Dale.
Thanks, Dale. And then Linda. Comments, questions on that report? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we have to accept the year-to-date expense report for the Office and Administration Committee dated April the 30th, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Brian
I'll second that.
and Rose. Comments, questions on that report? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Now we will move on to the Finance and Economic Development Committee. May 19th can't be right, if the other two were on May the 19th.
No, May 21st, and I apologize.
Nice. And we need to follow the recommendation that bylaw 2611. Administrative monetary penalty system be given its second and third reading and duly passed.
I'll make that motion.
Brian? Rose? Comments, questions? Anyone opposed?
Councillor Stevens is always opposed to this.
Anyone else?
Just one question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Denise, collecting these penalties, how long have we been doing it? Like like, we've had the bylaw and then it's been established, but has it been a year yet?
It's almost been like almost 3 years now.
Oh, really? That we've been collecting
Yes.
the revenue,
Mhm.
right? And how significant of revenue is it?
I can get Sue to prepare a report for you.
Yeah, I can look back on revenues,
Yeah.
but it's over a 3-year period. I didn't realize it had been that long. Yeah, thank you.
No. Anyone else? Anyone opposed?
Still opposed.
It is still carried. And we have another motion that bylaw 2025-23, which is the custodian shoreline care and municipal land use bylaw, be given its first reading and that a comment period ending on September the 17th, 2026 be set.
Yes, so moved, Councillor Stevens.
I'll second. Dale?
Derek and Dale.
I'd like to make an amendment to that motion if you don't mind.
Could I comment on that?
Well, we'll comment on this first and then we'll deal with your amendment. Okay, Rose?
I was gonna comment on having that changed, because as far as I'm concerned, this is really important. We shouldn't have any date on it. It should be as of now. Because that lake is the most important part of our community. And as far as I'm concerned, people don't have a right to damage the shoreline or any part about it. And we're coming up to the summer and we've got cottagers, and I'll guarantee you they're gonna be out there doing all the things they're not supposed to be doing. And in September, I don't think so. That's my comment. I just get wound up about that lake, where everybody just brushes it off. We have farmers, that stuff's going into the lake. We have a park, we have golf course. And nobody's doing anything. So, here we go. My rant.
Good. Yeah,
But any bylaw, we need to have some public opportunity for input, don't you think?
Not this one, not if it
Just
affects.
Do the 3 meetings all at once.
Yep, because it affects everybody's drinking water in this community.
anyone else? Derek?
If I may, I think we're being too site specific. This is all the shoreline in this municipality, all the lakes in this municipality. And when you start zeroing in on one thing, that's no good. All bylaws have to go to the public for comment. They affect the public. That's what we do. That's how you get transparency. That's how you get public comment on what the regulations are in these bylaws. You just can't cram things through and put it down the public's throat and then go, we're right, you're wrong. No, we have a way that we do it. We've always done it that way. Procedurally, that's the way it goes. They go for comment period, and I don't think you can bypass it.
Bill 97 all over again. Anyways, any other comments? I agree, we do need to have comment periods, and this one is over the summer, but unfortunately,
We're still doing my amendment here or what?
yours is coming up now before we vote on this one.
Amendment is to reduce it to 30 days. And that way we'll deal with it as fast as we can, which would be August. So that's actually a 60-day public comment period for 30 days. But to amend this, to go with the 3 months all summer for housekeeping, there's already a bylaw in effect. This is just a clean up the bylaws, that's all. This is just administrative, basically. It cleans up the rules and all that and makes it current. And that's what we have to do I think it's every 10 years, Denise. We have to go through all our bylaws and clean them up.
Periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is all this is a review. So I don't know why this has gone 90 days for a review. Because we already have a bylaw on the books. So 30 days is lots. And if people, the 30 days will give the people the 30 days plus July to comment on this thing, so we can deal with it in August. And I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with going into September. We're just spinning our tires here, so. So that's my motion, is to change it to 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
Second motion.
So that would bring it back to what date, Denise?
I don't think we can see it
17th
in
July, wouldn't it?
in June.
That brings it to the end of June.
Yeah.
And there's no council meeting, and no committee or council meetings in July, so
Yeah,
it
so
doesn't
the
matter. You
August.
could put it to the end of July, 60-day. And that way you
Well,
still,
that gets the summer traffic involved too, so end of July would make more sense, I would think. Brian, what's your thought?
Well, even if we put it 30 days, it doesn't really matter. It's just gonna sit there, eh, for another 30 days?
but the
Or-
comment period is closed by that time.
Okay, all right, so
So
we'll
it'd
go,
be cleaner to have it. to the
we'll
end
go
of
to
July.
60 days then, eh?
End of July, Sue Rose?
No, 30 days, what Brian suggested and Dale, that I don't think any days, but then that's, I'll negotiate.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stay at 30 days then. That was my original motion, and 30 days it is.
Anybody else want to comment on that amendment?
Sure, why not? I mean, it has a few more classifications, it has a few more definitions. But basically, we have a bylaw in place already, which is going to be covering 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, it makes no difference. We still have a bylaw in place that staff can use. I think that because we are a tourist oriented place, most of our properties are owned by people that are not here as residents, but they still own property. And they should have the time to review bylaws that affect them. Going out through the summer period gives people the time when they're here to actually hear that there is a bylaw and review it. If they have any comments, we can get them. But we have a lot of ratepayers in this municipality, just not ones that live here. And I think you have to give everybody ample time to be able to comment on a bylaw that we're making.
Just as, before we get to that, did you get a second for that, Denise?
It has to be full
Yeah.
in Scott.
Okay. Okay, so
30 days, so it's,
we do have a motion on the floor for a 30-day in place of the September 17th date. And I have had a request for a recorded vote, so we will do the recorded vote.
Who requested a recorded vote?
Linda,
Oh, sorry.
we'll start over with John.
Yes.
30 days,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Dale,
And yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Derek,
Opposed, the people have the right to speak.
no, and the mayor will say no, and for the same reason we need a longer period. So it is carried.
The amendment has been carried.
Their amendment is carried.
So then the original motion, then that would be that.
Be given a second and third readings.
A comment period. No, because the original motion says just a first reading. And that the comment period would then end at the 30 days, which would be June the 27th.
So it doesn't even get us to the end of June.
So that's the bylaw. That's the motion then. The amended motion says that the bylaw 2025-23 custodial shoreline care and municipal land use bylaw be given its first reading, and that a comment period ending June the 27th, I think, 27th.
Probably
Because today's the 28th, so 30 days. So June the 27th, be set.
But we've already accepted the amendment. Do we still have to do this one too?
Yeah. And it's a three-part. When you amend it after you've had your first and second and it's on the floor. The only way you can amend a motion at that point in time is to pass the amendment. And then you have to pass the original motion with the amendment included in it. So that's where we are now. We need to pass the original motion as amended.
Well, you've heard the lady. We gotta move this motion forward then. In order to do it, we have to include the affected parts of the original motion and the amendment.
John will give you that, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, John.
Motion was already motion.
Yeah, she's asking.
No, it's an amended motion.
You have to have a motion for the amended motion. The original motion was already.
Original motion.
It's the motion with the amendment included goes back to the floor for first and second. Yes,
What happens to the original motion then?
well, the original motion is there, but it doesn't get passed. It's there with the first and second,
It's withdrawn after, until the
and then.
amendment is looked at.
Went on the table with the original.
I'll second it, Mr. Moore.
Okay, John and Rose.
I think we're doing this right, but anyway.
Well, we are because we set aside the original motion for the amendment. We dealt with the amendment. It was accepted, and then we're dealing with the full motion, which includes the amendment. So we do have the amended motion here on the table by John and Rose. Again, I guess we better do
Any opposed?
Recorded vote.
a recorded.
You want a recorded vote on this one?
Darn tootin'. I always.
This is a recorded vote by Mr. Stevens. So we'll start with Mr. Stevens.
I am opposed. And the problem with this is I'm opposed to this motion, but I was for it the way it was. So you guys have made me be opposed to a motion that. And I'm opposed.
Well, you were opposed to the original one.
Oh, I was for the original one.
Well, according to me, what did you have down there, Denise?
Pardon?
What did you have down for Derek's vote?
He didn't vote on the original motion, there was no
There
recorded.
was no vote on the original motion.
But he was the first for it.
You guys stole my motion again and changed it around to.
Oh.
Brian.
Doesn't belong to you anymore.
Doesn't matter.
Belongs to council.
Doesn't matter.
Brian,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Eric, that's all. Eric.
Dale,
Yes.
and, Rose. And John.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with yes this time round. It is carried. All right, let's move on. Thank you, folks. We need a motion to approve the check register for the month of April 2026 in the amount of $687,012.51.
I'll make that.
Dale and Brian,
Only because it was a light one this month.
comments, questions on that register? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need to approve the year-to-date financial report ending April 30th, 26 for the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
I'll give you that.
Dale
Second.
and Rose. Comments, questions on that expense report? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need to agree that the Idle Glen RV Park be given an exemption to the noise bylaw on July the 11th, 26, and on August the 1st, 26.
Dr. Stevens.
I'll second that.
Eric and Brian. Comments, questions on that exemption? We've said before, we've given it before, and we've had no problems, so we'll proceed. Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need to have a motion that permission be given to the water service line to be installed at 56A Franks Road, which will transverse the shoreline allowance, provided that the owner or that the appropriate hold harmless agreement be signed and that all future repairs be at the owner's cost.
So moved, Councilor
I
Stevens.
was going to make a friendly suggestion here, and I'll leave it to Denise to decide. Instead of owners, should we specify taxpayer? Because that kind of looks like it could be the landowner or the municipality, which is the shoreline owner.
Or just say on.
You want me to use that word shoreline owners? Or sort of-
Just take out the owner, take out owners and put taxpayer.
Okay.
Does that make more sense to you, Denise?
Shouldn't it be property owner? Taxpayer could be everybody.
Yeah.
The
The
taxpayer is a generic word.
adjacent owner's cost,
The applicants. Okay, that'll do.
I'll still make the motion.
All right. So Derek. And Dale. All right. A lot of windy people around here tonight, but that's where we're going. we need to move this particular motion, and whereas the municipality of Central Manitoulin has not consented to participate in the Georgian Bay Geopark project. And whereas the municipality of Central Manitoulin was not consulted. And whereas the municipality of Central Manitoulin objects to being labeled a deep time zone for tropical seas. And whereas the municipality of Central Manitoulin stands on its own and is of the opinion that Manitoulin Island alone will decide whether it seeks status in any geopark destination. Therefore, the municipality of Central Manitoulin is in opposition to being included in the Georgian Bay Geopark project. Further, the municipality requests that the Georgian Bay Geopark project redraw their maps to exclude Manitoulin Island and the North Channel. The Georgian Bay Geopark project removed all references to Manitoulin Island and the North Channel from all communications, fundraising, and grant application materials, including Envision 2030. That there be no tourism-oriented directional signing installed pertaining to the geopark, and to state that Manitoulin Island is not within the scope of the project in all geopark communications.
Some of Councilor Stevens.
Seconder,
Seconder.
Brian? Comments, questions?
I think this went through MMA, and MMA was opposed to it, and that's a recommendation coming from all the island communities. And when we start into this geopark and biospheres and everything else, it always scares me because those come with regulations that just all of a sudden show up and you can't do anything about them. So I think the island needs to be able to determine their own destiny and tourism. So I can't be supportive of it.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems was that this group took the liberties of including municipality like Nemi using their logo. They didn't even know about it until they saw it. No consultation with, they did consult with a few municipalities, but certainly not with us. And they didn't consult with the indigenous populations on the island. So they, they shot themselves in the foot, really, by not being prepared, not being open, not being inclusive to everybody. It's a huge area. They take all the shore of Georgian Bay, all of Manitoulin, and want to make that into a geopark. They basically just give the advantages that it'll be increased tourism. And I heard a few representatives from municipalities at the MMA saying, we don't want any more tourism. Anyways, yeah, I think they haven't run their campaign very well. And they were getting a lot of opposition. If they don't get the First Nations involved and agreeing to this, it's not going to go.
Well, I think the general consensus meeting there that night was that the First Nations were not supporting the project. I think there wasn't the consultation, and there certainly wasn't a, open period for comment for all the municipalities and the First Nations, so.
One of the, but maybe, Mr. Mayor, one of the problems with a lot of these groups is they have a lot of political pull. And they'll fundraise in that and then go after the government to change laws, and then they start telling property owners, making laws of what they can do on property and what they can't. And with absolutely no consultation, all of a sudden the property owner finds out, well, I can't do that. Why? Well, this group made a law and it's hard. So we can't support that here. The island has to be able to determine its own.
Yeah.
Just locally, right here, one example is Wags Wood. EBC came in, they made a presentation, they wanted to buy that property.
Yep.
Take over it, conserve it, which is fine. I remember that meeting and saying, no, it's our property and we'll do what we want with it. And now we have trails, we have benches, we're putting up signs. EBC comes in and they don't do any work. They just have a property that is conserved.
Yep.
They very rarely develop trails, so they don't have the personnel to come up on every piece of property and make trails. So now if there's trails there originally, when they buy it, yeah, like Heaven's Gate, the trails were there before they took over.
Problem with them is that they then impose rules and regulations on the opposing, on surrounding properties. And now you got owners that can't do something on the property because that's in the center of it, so.
Yeah, that might be the Niagara Escarpment Biosphere. They're a little different than EBC, but you're right, in some cases, adjacent landowners are restricted in what they can do within a certain distance from that.
Yeah.
From the conservation property line. Yeah.
Any other comments? Anyone opposed to this motion, which does not want us to be part of the project? Then it is carried. And I guess there's nothing more until we go down to the confirming bylaw.
We can do a motion for that.
Dale? Linda? Anyone opposed? It is carried. All right, well, thanks, everybody. Just before we adjourn, I wanted to thank everybody that participated in the ceremonies and thank you for doing hot dogs and hamburgers and all the goodies there, and feeling quite relieved when I saw all the people that had come and heard of all the numbers that were there. In fact, I had lunch with Maya here to finish it off. And so we think it was a nice gesture, and staff did a fantastic job. So thank everyone for us, Denise.
I will do that.
All right, now, Dale.
And then just like to add the staff, it's amazing how much prep work they did and putting tents up in the rain and, yeah, and so many staff were there. Huge, I think probably everybody was there almost. I don't know, I can't think of anybody that was missing. Anyways, the whole staff was there, so it was really a good. Regardless of the weather, it was a very successful appreciation.
We gotta thank Councilor Beasley for all his equipment and
Yeah, John brought his
barbecues and.
big, what do you call it, big ass?
Brown Bear.
Barbecue.
16,000 BTU.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, so we're going to adjourn by Dale and seconder.
I will second that.
Brian, thank Thanks, guys. There, have a good evening.
All this time,